Welcome to Stats Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, and thank you guys for subscribing. This is Harvey's weekly football report. I'm sorry we wasn't here last week, but we're back for the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl, and we got Bengals super fan Jamie Couch on tonight to pick the Super Bowl and Pro Bowl with us. How are you doing tonight, man?
Oh, doing good. Just resting up from those three nail biters we've had in the last 3 weeks, and just glad to have a week off.
Absolutely. How are you doing tonight, Harvey?
All right.
Well, just all right, man.
Yeah, I'm here and I'm talking to you, so you have to be all right.
Is it because the Cowgirls lost in the wild card round?
That's bad.
Are you still crying over it?
No, I didn't think they would go to the Super Bowl anyway.
That's a surprise, man. A Cowgirls fan not predicting them to go to the Super Bowl. Stephen,
Well, the Cowgirls looks better than the Cowboys.
Well, the cheerleaders, yeah.
Yeah, well, you said it, I did.
Oh God,
I don't know if you know, but I went 6-0 on those 6 games the first week.
I know you did. I was 5-1. You got that one. We missed that one. I forgot which one it was. That's where
it was the 49ers and Cowboys, I think.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was. Yeah, it was.
But now the second week, I probably would have went 2-2. Is that right? Was there 4 games? Yeah. And then last week, probably 1-1.
Yeah, we didn't even pick last week.
Yeah.
No,
if you're like me, I picked the Rams to beat the 49ers, but I would have not. I don't think I would have picked the Bengals to beat the Chiefs.
No, I probably wouldn't, but that was a shocker, really.
And the reason why we didn't pick last week is it's all on me. I was having sinus problems and stuff, losing my voice and stuff. Sorry about that, Harvey.
Well, I was down with COVID myself, so
wow,
a lot of it going around.
I didn't have COVID, thank God.
Well, I've had it 2 times now, so.
What do you do? You just stay in and take medicine or something?
Yeah. I've still got a little lingering cough every now and then, but I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, I've had it a few times myself.
I tell you what, back last year, I tell you what helped me is they didn't never say I had it, but my sisters did, and I drank Gatorade, that light Gatorade. They said it helped you a lot, kept you, that was something good to help you, keep your fluids going.
Yeah, you definitely got to stay hydrated for sure.
Yeah, Gatorade's real good for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man, and we got a Pro Bowl game to pick, man. The AFC and the NFC Sunday at 3 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. And I guess because the AFC has better quarterbacks, they're 1-point favorites. So yeah, man, I know this is a hard game to pick, but who you going with, Jamie?
Well, we were looking over the rosters there. You read over the rosters a little bit earlier. Both teams are stacked. I think we have a few more replacements. Seems like maybe in the AFC, NFC, but I like the quarterback group a little better with the AFC, so I'm going to go AFC in a high-scoring game, maybe by a touchdown.
Who are you going with, Harvey?
Oh, I said you go pick the AFC. I believe I'll go with the NFC. I will tell you. I'll tell you the reason I'm going with the NFC. I'll go with the NFC on one player, George Kittle.
Well,
I think he'll be a dominant factor in that game. That's me. I'll pick the NFC.
I thought the tight ends on both teams were two stud tight ends for both teams. You had Kelsey and Andrews, I think you said, for the AFC, and then Kittle and Pitts. No, yeah, Kittle and Pitts. So those are four of the best right there.
Yeah. I think them 4 are actually the top 4 tight ends in the NFL.
I think they are the best 4, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with the AFC, man. I think the quarterbacks are the difference. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Herbert. I mean, them 3 right there could be arguably the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. Joe Burrow might have something to say about that.
Well, he's in the conversation, but he's still young. I guess Herbert is too, but yeah, he would be there had they not been in the Super Bowl, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he definitely is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Obviously, he's not had the best offensive line.
No, they got to upgrade that in the offseason, but definitely I think Cincinnati's got their franchise quarterback, and they just got to build around him and the offensive weapons they have now.
I agree with you 100% on that, Jamie.
All right, man. And now let's get down to the Super Bowl. We got the Rams and the Bengals, which is basically a home game, basically a home game for the Rams at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. And surprisingly, the Rams are 4-point favorites. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Who you going with, Jamie?
Well, you know who I'm going with. You know, I was kind of rooting for the 49ers because I didn't want the Bengals to have to play another game on the road. But it seems like that's when they are at their best, when they're underdogs and they're on the road. They beat the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed, Tennessee and Kansas City. And being a Bengals fan, I look for it either way. I look for it to be very close. And we talked earlier, the Rams. The key to the game will be the defensive line for the Rams and the offensive line for the Bengals. If the Bengals can give protection, I think they'll win. But I'm going to say another McPherson field goal will be the difference, and the Bengals get their first Super Bowl.
Who are you going with, Harvey?
Well, it's a tough pick where it's the Rams at home. But I think Jamie said the magic word, the underdogs, because I want to tell you, where it hits at the Rams Stadium, guess who the pressure is on? The pressure is on the Rams. The pressure is not on the Bengals. Where there's a team, and I think that could make a difference. And so far, their kickers come through for them, and it may come down to that again. I think it might come down to who got the ball last. I'm not Jamie though. I'm gonna pick I think the Bengals I think the Bengals want it. I really do. I think they want it. They play like they want it, and that's why I'll pick the Bengals.
Yep. I'm just not gonna pick against Matthew Stafford.
Well, probably if we'd have done this last week, I hate to pick against my team, but I feel better about our chances against the Rams than I did against the Chiefs, just to be honest. And, the Rams do have a lot of weapons. It could be one of those. I mean, the Bengals, magic, they may lose their magic slipper and they may get smoked in the Super Bowl, but I don't see it. I think it'll be a good game, and I think it could go either way. But I'm not going to bet against my team now. They've made it this far, and I'm not going to go against them now.
Like I was saying, we was talking about earlier. The Bengals, they was picked to finish last in their division. Nobody had them even going nowhere, and that's just like you said, that's a Cinderella story. And then you got on the Rams side, Matthew Stafford. You have to feel for him. It's just like he got a Christmas present last year. Got traded from Detroit to the Rams, and This is one Super Bowl. I think maybe the fans on both sides, who wins, they might feel a little bit good about both sides. But I think this is one Super Bowl where, regardless of who wins, it's going to be some feel good stories on both sides. This is probably one of the first Super Bowls ever like that. But my heart's Bengals.
Well,
way,
it's one of the first Super Bowls we've had that's not had Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So one of these guys is going to get their first ring. And, like you said earlier, the Bengals are playing with house money, I think. I think they have nothing to lose. They all the pressure's on the Rams, and they're at home. They've got all the talent. And but we'll see. I mean, it'll be a good game, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
after, we've talked about now, you mentioned Tom Brady. I mean, my hat's off to him. I think he feels it's time to go, and I think he's going out the way he should. And hey, man, no matter if people like him or they don't like him, but hey, I enjoyed watching that man for 20 years, 22 years, as a matter of fact.
He's the best to ever do it, in my opinion. And
oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, like you said, whether you like him or not, you got to respect him. And I did not dislike Tom Brady. I don't really care much for the coach of the Patriots, but I kind of like Brady. And I was kind of glad when he went to Tampa Bay. I kind of jumped on board there with him and was for him then. But it's going to be hard for somebody to play that long and put up better numbers than what he's done.
Well, to me, what stands out with Tom Brady, I mean, you talk about Belichick. I don't think Belichick had to tell him what to do when he was in the game a lot. I mean, I've never seen a quarterback in my life. He's like a point guard on a basketball team. I mean, and he's smart. I mean, everybody knows that guy's smart. And when you got a player like that that's smart, and you don't, that's why he's one of the best, because even his players around him even says he's a leader. I mean, you've got somebody like that.
I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of them compare Burrow, saying he's the next Tom Brady, but
I hear that.
And he may be. He's got a lot of talent and a lot of years ahead of him. But Tom Brady, he never had the weapons that until he went to Tampa Bay. There, he had some good weapons, but in New England, he really didn't have the weapons that Burrow has and some of these other quarterbacks have had, and he still wins.
No matter who they brought in.
Right.
He made them better.
And he made them, but that's right.
Hey, if the offensive line, you take me, I would say, if you take an offensive line like Tom Brady had at New England, he could have made me and you and Seth probably the best wide receivers in the world.
That's true. That is true. They've had a great offensive line, and Belichick's a good coach too. And
oh yeah,
he had the Patriots right there with the Mac Jones, and they're going to be a dangerous team in the future as well. But he's had Gronk. Gronk's kind of followed him, and he's made Gronk one of the best tight ends of all time, and he's had a few good top-notch receivers here and there in New England, but he's really, like you said, he's made average players look very good.
Edelman, who was an average wide receiver before he came to New England, he made him a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hear Tom Brady did a lot for them boys, even in the off season. I wonder just how much incentive does he give them, because have you watched him? I mean, it's just like I said, he's a team leader, and everybody who played for him, played on the side, that you see that they played their heart out for him. I mean, that's a leader. That's a leader.
It's like having a head coach out there on the field.
Oh yeah, that's right. Makes a big difference. Now, like I said, there'll be nobody ever. I've watched the NFL for a long time, and I've never seen nobody have a smart football sense on the field like Tom Brady.
Right, and he's not. You look at Mahomes and some of those guys. Mahomes is very talented. Lamar Jackson, but Brady used more of his head and his arm and not his legs.
That's right. That is right. Yeah.
And you can stay around a lot longer if you do that, and you have protection.
Yeah.
So that was a big key for him. But he's, I can't remember, was it 6th round maybe draft pick? He was way down there. Yeah. So he's a very good story, and he'll be missed in the NFL. But I think he, like you said, I think he done the right thing. It's get out while you can, and you're still healthy, and you don't have to go through one of those years where you just totally lose it and look bad. You just go out and you're still playing well, and he can be with his family.
Big Ben also retired. He went out looking pretty bad.
How long do you think Aaron Rodgers will last? Say, Jamie, you think maybe he got one more year in him or what?
I think so. I mean, he may go out and retire, but I think he can. I think he's still got 3 or 4 or 5 years, maybe. I'm not sure how old he is, but
think he's 36, 37.
Well, 2 or 3 years maybe if he wants to, but he's still talented enough. He can hang in there and play. But you was talking about Big Ben, being a Bengals fan, definitely not a Steelers fan at all.
No.
But with that being said, I still respected him, for what he was able to do. He didn't have a rifle of an arm. He had size, and he was pretty smart himself.
Yeah.
But he was kind of deteriorating, and he may have went a year too long, but he still got his team to the playoffs, which nobody thought they would do. And
No.
he was still hard nosed and a tough guy to have. But I look for Pittsburgh to, if they get a quarterback in there, they're going to be very good. They've got a lot of skilled players and pretty good defense. So if they get Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or somebody like that, they'll be a contender immediately.
Do you know anybody, Jamie, that's a senior in college that could come in the NFL right quick? Any good ones right now? Cincinnati's quarterback was a senior.
There's and I can't think of their names right now. There are
Ole Miss's quarterback.
Who?
Ole Miss's quarterback.
Okay, you got him, and you got another guy. I've seen a couple projections. What's his name? Fickle or somewhere, something like that. Like I told you earlier, I don't watch a lot of college football, but yeah, I don't think the quarterback class is loaded this year like it has been in the past few years, but I'm sure the Pittsburgh will be looking to draft one pretty early. But my guess is they'll try to get one of these free agents first if they can. And they have, is it Mason Rudolph, I think, is their backup.
Yep. Who would have thought the tie with the Lions would get them into the playoffs?
Yeah. But if it's Mason Rudolph, I think I don't know if he's the answer, but I'll feel good about it if he's the quarterback. I'll say that for the Bengals anyway. But
me too, as a Browns fan.
Yeah, but I'd say they'll draft. I'll say they'll draft one either way and kind of try to groom him maybe for whenever if they do get a free agent, whenever he leaves, or if they keep Mason Rudolph and just kind of work him in eventually.
Absolutely, man. And Cleveland, we've got to get rid of Baker Mayfield somehow.
Hey, Sam, was that you talking the other day about somebody was maybe trying to work a deal with the 49ers to get their quarterback?
There is a rumor that Aaron Rodgers might do a sign and trade with the 49ers and trade Jimmy G to the Packers for him. Yeah, in a sign and trade.
Well, and Denver is another team looking for a quarterback that they have a lot of weapons.
They just hired Green Bay's offense coordinator is the head coach, and the tight ends coach is the offense coordinator.
Yeah, so I think I've heard a few rumors that Rodgers could go there. So he will definitely go to a place where he can win a Super Bowl.
Well, what would you say? What would y'all think? All right, talk about the 49ers quarterback. All right, they in the NFC Championship. Well, if you was 49ers, would you want to get rid of them?
For Aaron Rodgers,
they had a chance.
Absolutely.
They had a chance to be in it.
For Aaron Rodgers, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I think. Did we? Are you still there, Harvey?
Yeah, I'm still here. I got an
Amber alert. Yeah, I got that on my phone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I was telling that if I was 49ers, you almost went to the Super Bowl with that one guy. I mean, hey, I believe I keep him.
Well, there's a lot of people I think that wants to keep him, but I think there's a lot that wants to bring in somebody else or go with Trey Lance.
Yeah,
but, Jimmy G kind of reminds me of these guys, Trent Dilfer and some of these guys that they won a Super Bowl. They wasn't, the most talented quarterback, but they controlled the game and had a good defense and decent weapons around him. So.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Trent Dilfer with Baltimore that year, and Brad Johnson with Tampa Bay that one year. They had two of the best defenses ever.
Yep. And there's one more, but he's kind of slipped my mind.
Baker Mayfield's definitely in that conversation too as an average quarterback. He won that playoff game against Pittsburgh. Defense won us that game for sure.
That's as I always said. Defense is the biggest key. Yeah. I think who wins the Super Bowl, you probably see which defense steps up and does the best. Like last year, boys. Tampa Bay's defense on Patrick Mahomes, I'm telling you, that may be one of the best defenses I've seen too.
He ain't looked the same since, actually.
Yeah. The Bengals, their defense is improved and at times have looked really good. I thought they were going to get embarrassed the first half against Kansas City. But, they stepped up in the second half and made some big plays. And really, I think Mahomes kind of, I don't know if he felt the pressure or what, but he was totally a different quarterback in the second half too.
Did you see? I mean, what do you think about that play there in overtime? Heard that defense, he poked that ball into his teammate's hand, that interception in overtime. That's definitely a highlight reel.
Oh, yeah. Reel. Well, if you remember the very play before that, Eli Apple had one go right through his hands. Which would have been probably a pick six to end the game, or at least we would already been in field goal range. So and if you remember, Mahomes fumbled the ball in the last play of regulation. So the Bengals had two plays right there to pretty much sew it up. And I just thought for sure, being a long time Bengals fan, that we were just something bad was going to happen. I mean, we were going to get close, but we were just going to give it away at the end. But I tell you, they stepped up, made a big play there, that interception, and Burrow drove them down, and McPherson, done what he's been doing, and that's making field goals. So, it's I think the nation as a whole, I think a lot of people has enjoyed this Bengals story and kind of jumped on, kind of like seeing them win. So. It's like somebody said the other day, you got two teams in the Super Bowl that's very likable.
Yeah, that's right.
The Rams and the Bengals. So, somebody's it's going to be a good story. It is, yeah. But we may even see Seth wearing some orange.
Never, man. I'll be wearing Cleveland.
I might have an extra jersey for him.
That's the fans from the AFC North and the Rams fans. That'll be most of the ones cheering for them.
I don't know, man. I know some Steelers fans that's actually cheering for the Bengals.
Well, that's a shocker.
That is funny. That'd be the first time I've ever heard about that, because that's a big robbery for 40 years.
Well, the only thing to that is the Bengals have never won it. Had the Bengals won it a few times, that would probably be different. You probably wouldn't see them Steelers fans cheering for the Bengals. But, when it all comes down to it, people want to see teams that's never won. They want to see them like the Cubs winning a few years ago, and breaking the Red Sox, those teams that, just went years and years and decades and hadn't won. So, it's like you said, it is a feel-good story. The Rams, I think, have won it a couple of times in their history, maybe once or twice in LA, and maybe once in St. Louis, I think.
Kurt Warner, yeah.
But it'll be a fun Super Bowl, and I'll tell you what it will be, though. It'll be the first Super Bowl since 1988 that I'll actually be nervous in, because the rest of them, I'm cheering for one team or the other, but if they lose, that's not anything big time major. But this one's got something riding on it for me. So,
I think if the Bengals lose, man, they shouldn't feel sad about it. They had an amazing year either way.
Oh no, and it's like I said, they're playing with house money. The pressure's not on them, but it's also, I've been around coaching long enough to know when you get that far, you never know. You may not ever get there again. Look at Dan Marino. He went to the Super Bowl in one of his first few years, and he never made it back. And you would have thought
one of the best quarterbacks ever that never
ever, and you would have thought he would have won a Super Bowl or got there again, but he never, I don't think, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he never got back to one.
No.
So my thinking is go for it. You're there, go ahead and win it, and then we'll hopefully add more on top in the years to come.
So if the Bengals win a Super Bowl, will you be at the parade?
In Cincinnati?
Yes, sir.
Well, I will say I'll do my best to get there. I can't promise. I actually looked at Super Bowl tickets, but it just took one click of the button, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll be watching it from home.
Yes, you will, because I saw the same thing.
The cheapest ticket I saw, and that was as soon as the Bengals won, was $5,600, and I think they're even more now. But that's crazy.
Yeah, you better have. Hey, if you get ringside seats, you better have $30,000.
Oh yeah, that was for the top seat in the place. So, I wouldn't even think about going for the $30,000 seat. But
I'll tell you what, I don't believe in you. I think no way I couldn't afford it anyway.
No, I probably, and that's crazy to even think, but I probably would have paid $1,000 to go for a ticket, and that's crazy. But
yeah,
but I may have tried to do that. It still would have been hard. But when you're talking 5 and 6, 7,000 as the cheapest seat, you won't see me there. But I'll be there in spirit. I'll watch it from the TV.
A better seat at the TV.
Better seat, cheaper food.
Better food.
Yeah.
You know, I will tell you a feel good story. Cincinnati, they played Alabama in the playoffs, and they had to go to Arizona, and that my barber, his boy plays for Cincinnati, and Cameron, he played for Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he was healthy, but his daddy told me, I believe yesterday, they got pretty good money to go. Each they got a big payout. You know how they do.
Right. Yeah.
I think he was not going to go, but his daddy said what they done, each pair of the ball players, they had to come, and when they got, I think it was like their seats was, I believe it was something about like $3,000. I don't know where it was a piece, but so they could come to watch your kids play there at that. What was Fiesta Bowl? Yeah, he said so they will let me come and go watch it. So he said I went and watched them, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good story there. That the parents could get to go watch your kids play.
Oh yeah. I would definitely want to go if my kid was playing. I'd definitely want to go.
Yeah.
But
that was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. I definitely appreciate you being on, Jamie, and appreciate you doing this, Harvey, for a second year, man. And I guess we'll see you all back in September. I guess we'll see everybody in September. And this has been the last episode of Harvey's Weekly Football Report for this season of NFL and college football. And we look back. Well, actually, there'll be college football games in about the third week of August. So, we'll be back for that. We might do some Harvey, you're a big NBA fan. I know we might do some NBA trade deadline coverage.
Me, NBA, you're crazy. Now I'm a not super fan, and where Jamie is involved in that,
You're a Lakers fan.
Hey, I'll tell you what we might do. We might district tournament start. We might pick who we think will win them districts.
Yeah, we can do high school.
Well, if you want to.
I don't
You
know
know what,
nothing about high school basketball,
since
man.
we're talking
I wouldn't know who. I don't know anybody even on any team. I wouldn't know who to pick.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all right too.
Since you're talking about, what I mentioned that I watched the Patriots on TV play Letcher. I know they got a young team, but they're close. That his team is close. I mean, they just that big step. They ain't hit there yet.
No, and they're like you said, they are close, and they're on any given night. I think they could beat one of the top teams.
Well, they beat Hazard.
Yeah, well,
like I said, you're right. If they'd have played like that against Hazard, they probably won. They would be the top team this year easy.
Well, they got to hit free throws. They missed too many free throws.
I know that, yeah.
But that's a tough district. They're all three very close.
What do you think about Breathitt County Pipe win the All-A championship? That was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good for the mountains. You had two mountain schools, and I like John Noble, and Breathitt's very talented and will be tough to beat in the region. But now, also, I know a little bit about Pikeville's roster, and they're absolutely loaded. They're loaded.
You know about their coach too, don't we?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So they got a good coach, and I'll be shocked if they don't win the 15th region.
Well, I believe they'll stay contender because I looked at their schedule and they've lost one game, and it was the Bowling Green by 1 point.
Yeah, and one of their top players is coming back from knee surgery. He missed. I don't know if he missed the whole season last year.
That's that guy that's getting looked at by. He's got a few D1 offers, don't he?
Yeah, Riley Salmons is his name. He's a big, tall left-hander. He's about 6'7", can shoot the ball really well. And then they have a very good point guard. I've lost it. Lathian something is Lathian's his first name, and then they have a kid that came in from Shelby Valley, I think, who's very good, and they're loaded. And
they are.
But they'll be a tough team over there. Breathitt County's one of the favorites here in the 14th region. So
John Noble, he can coach team with. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in this state, man. He's a very good friend of mine. He's a real good guy, and wish him nothing but the best of luck, man, in the upcoming tournaments and stuff. John Noble, you never find a better guy than him.
No, and he gets a lot out of his players. They play hard for him, and that's the one thing. And he'll defend his players, and he'll get up in their face and give it to them. But they also know that at the end of the day that he cares about them, and that's how you get players really to buy into your system. They'll run through a wall for him.
Jamie, you know what I told John Noble several years ago? One of our boys at Bethel Christian, he transferred from Bethel to Buckhorn, and he was a start guard on that Buckhorn team to beat Prairie Central over at North Central that year. And they was Austin East. And I told John Noble, I said,
Austin Morris, not East.
Players ever was.
Morris.
Yeah.
You said
I
East.
told John Noble, I said we give you the player that helped you win the tournament.
Yeah, you said East, man. It's Morris.
Oh, Austin Noble. I mean Morris.
Noble.
We know what he's talking about. We know who he's talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, the girls, not Central girls, beat Letcher's girls the other night in a good ball game. So
I watched that. Yeah.
Coach Honeycutt has another good chance to win another regional title this year. But it won't be easy. There's 4 or 5 good teams there too.
Did you go watch the girls playing down there?
Yes.
I didn't get I didn't even know how that
in the All-A? In the All-A? No, I had COVID. I didn't get a go.
I know they lost like 4 points to West Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, they came back. They got down big early, came back, actually took I think about a 4-point lead, and then West Carter hit some big shots down the stretch, and they ended up beating us. And then,
well, they've always had a good program too.
Well, we knew that was going to be a tough game, and they went on.
Yeah.
They went on and barely lost to Pikeville's girls, who was also loaded down there, and I think they lost by 1 point.
They lost in the championship, I think.
I don't know how. I can't remember how far they got, but they got a good team.
Yeah. I'm like you. I will tell you. I mean, between me and you, I mean, Jeff has got a good program right there. He really has. I mean,
Jeff does a good job. He's one of my good friends, and he's
that's right.
Been at it a while, and he's he there for years. He got close, and he finally broke through with a win and a title, and now it's just like he's getting them pretty regular. So he's done a good job.
I've always told some of them I've had a few girls on that team that I know. One of them would just go to church with me, and I told them, I said, "You girls listen to what Jeff tells you. Oh, you'll probably do pretty good."
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple that. Pretty good.
But I appreciate you guys having me on these few weeks. I enjoy it. If you anytime you want me on, just let me know. I'll jump on here.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for being on.
I'm going to tell you, Seth. Hey, Seth, I'm going to tell you that if anybody listening out there, that pray for Jamie's family. One of his cousins, passed away in that car wreck.
Yeah.
So Portia, I've known her all my life about it. She went all that year much younger than me, and so anybody out there, you pray for their family.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. And yeah, man, definitely appreciate you being on, Jamie, and I appreciate Harvey being on. And I don't know how I've did it 2 years putting up with Harvey, but we did it. We'll be back for a third.
Yeah, well, hopefully next time I see you, I'll have a Super Bowl champion hat or a shirt. Yeah. Hopefully, but if not, we'll go again next year. Hopefully,
you can wear an AFC championship shirt.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
But
we appreciate you, Jamie.
Yes, sir, man.
Same here.
Thanks,
you guys. Have a good evening, and we'll have some fun here next Sunday, and it should be a good Super Bowl.
Absolutely. This has been Harvey's weekly football report. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.